Three, two, one.
This is episode 33 of DJ Talks. My name is Johnny,
Hey, what's up? I'm Dan.
and this week we're gonna go with the similar show kind of format that we had last week, where we break it down to very specific topics that we go over. It worked really well for us last week. We want to give it another try. We got some responses from our viewers. Shout out to Kevin. He was a big fan of our new show format. I guess it's not a new show; it's the same show, but we're just reorganizing it. So let us know what you think about how we break it down, and if you like it or hate it, leave a comment, email us, and we'll take your feedback into consideration moving forward, because it's really valuable to us.
Of course.
Yeah.
We start off here. First off, can you tell me a little bit about the little outfit that you have there?
Yeah,
Johnny?
yeah, my outfit.
The little
so
outfit.
This week we're gonna be talking about our favorite anime, and a while ago I found this apron on Loot Vault, and I was like, "This is fucking dope." It was only a few bucks, and I'm like, "I need to buy that." I don't have the body that guy has in the anime. For those of you guys that don't know, this is from Shokugeki no Soma, or Food Wars, and there's a character who only walks around naked and wearing nothing but this apron. And he's like an amazing cook, and there are tons of shots of him almost showing everything but not, because all he's wearing is his apron. So I thought it'd be cool if I put it out for the first time for you guys.
Hold on. So what you're saying is you're naked right now.
You can't see anything below me. That is open to interpretation. But I will say I'm totally wearing.
Hey, this is going on YouTube, man. They have restrictions. Come on.
They can't see anything. They can't see anything. But I am wearing gym shorts. I swear to God.
Hey, do you want to stand up a little? Show us.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
You need to
Kuma
see the
Bear.
gym shorts,
Oh
dude.
no, not that, dude. I just want to see
There
the
you
apron.
Now you have the gym shorts, and you saw the rest of the apron. So
I love it, dude. I love it.
hell yeah, dude.
Popping off for
Hell
this
yeah.
episode. All right. Yeah, like Johnny said, anime episode. But first off, we're going to highlight a little bit about our last week, or two, I guess, if you haven't followed us since last week. For me, not too much excitement, but I did re-pop on a couple weeks ago for Terraria, a game. It's kind of like Minecraft, 2D version of Minecraft. So I've been playing a lot of that, kind of revisiting it. I already have so many hours from years ago when it initially came out. And then another game that I've been playing is Dying Light.
What's Dying Light? I've never heard of it.
It's a zombie survival RPG-like game, I would say. And it's co-op if you want it to be. You can play online. You can, so what you do is, it's this world. I know nothing about it yet. I just know there are zombies. There's a couple groups of people who are still human. You work together, and you go out, loot for things, kill zombies, try to survive, basically. And then you can level up skills. So it's really cool. I think it's really fun. However, I am a wuss, so I get very scared playing it alone.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds really, really freaky.
So definitely, it's like a very well designed game, I think. It's like Mirror's Edge, parkour, plus an RPG, plus zombie, plus survival, plus looting, plus all this stuff. So super cool. Check it out if you guys want to. I've been having fun. But yeah, a couple things I've been playing this week at least. So
That's pretty good. Terraria is such a good game too. I actually have I think 100-ish hours on the game. I used to play a lot with my friends back a while ago. So I feel you, dude. The game's so much fun. It's good to hear that people still play it. I didn't know that it was still a thing.
They make a lot of new updates too. More weapons.
Oh, really?
I guess not a lot, but more weapons, new gear, different things that you'll see. So at least from when it initially came out.
Yeah. That sounds pretty good.
Hell yeah. So, Johnny?
All right, so two major things happened this weekend. The first one was a lot of fun. It was the big Springfest event for Bushiroad's card games. So every season, or every other season, fall and spring, Bushiroad, a game company in Japan, will host tournaments and events for their major card games, which include Cardfight Vanguard, Weishwartz, Buddy Fight, Future Card, Buddy Fight, Dragoborn now, formerly Luck and Logic, but Luck and Logic died. So they have all these card games, and the two biggest ones are Cardfight Vanguard and Weishwartz. So they'll host regional tournaments for people to just play, compete at the highest level, and then eventually make their way to the world stage, which takes place in Tokyo, Japan. So I actually haven't played card games in a while. I know that's something like, if you guys have been watching us regularly, that's something like Dan and I kind of touched on, where like we used to play a lot and not so much anymore. But this week it was a lot of fun. They had like a team event. So instead of just playing 1v1s, you would play 3v3. So you and two other buddies would get together. And if two of you guys on your team won, then your team would win. And you kind of like play tournaments together like that, or in your rounds and stuff. So that was a lot of fun. I just played with my friends who I hadn't really played with in a long time. And what's really cool is that just because like Dan, you and I used to be like really active in this like Chicago card game community. Me more so than Dan, just because Dan lives out in the suburbs. It was really, really nice to seeing like a bunch of my old friends, like people I used to play card games with every day, hearing like what they've been up to, hearing how they've been doing, hearing like they've graduated from school or they got promoted at their jobs and stuff. It's just like a really nice atmosphere when you're like surrounded by all these people, like a community that you used to be like a really big part of, and they just welcome you back so quickly. My round 2 opponent, I was very forward with him. Like, yeah, you're playing a brand new deck. I have no idea what the shit does. I'm just here to like play and have fun. I smashed him because he got really unlucky with his draws. But he was like, really nice about it. He wasn't salty. He was like, "I'm really glad to have you back. Welcome back to the community. Hoping to see you like more future events." This guy's name was Brad. He was really cool. So cool. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I know that you had work, Dan, so you couldn't come.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it would have been fun. Relive the glory days, but that would have been so sad. I haven't updated. I haven't looked at the new cards at all. I haven't even changed my deck. I would have used some old ass, like, what the hell are you even playing kind of deck.
Yeah.
And just troll around. But yeah, that would have been fun. Sounds like a great time. That's when you meet somebody like that who's just chill and who's just there to have fun as well. It's cool. So
yeah, shout out to my boy Brad, wherever you are.
There you go.
And something crazy happened last night, man. Holy fuck. So, and this is all the same day. Yesterday I went to Springfest. It's still going on today. We're recording this on Sunday, March 4th. The event's still going on, but I had like some family stuff with my sister, celebrating her birthday, and then got to record DJ talk. So I might stop by the event later, probably won't. But right now, or yesterday after the event, I hung out with some friends, got some dinner, and then afterwards we went to like one of a buddy's places, and he's really big on Pokemon Go. He says he doesn't play a lot, but like for anyone that has ever played before, he's level 39. Max is 40. The EXP gets exponentially greater to level up every time. So like he plays a decent amount. He's also really involved with the community. He like follows groups on Discord. Has a lot of friends that he met through like playing, and like they'll go to like popular spots where like there are a lot of like rare catches and stuff. So anyway, last night he gets a notification from this network that he's a part of that there is a perfect IV level 30 Phoebus like somewhere along the lake. Ooh. And for those of you guys that don't know, IVs are like the hidden stats that like determine how strong a Pokemon can get. So this Pokemon's combat stats were perfect. They're maxed out all the way, and they're also at the highest level possible given the weather environment. So it means that as soon as you evolve the Phoebus into a Milotic, it will be like close to perfection after putting some CP into it and things like that. So my friend Jimmy says, "All right, guys, he's freaking out. He got the notification like he wants to go, but he needs that push." So I'm like, "All right, Jimmy, if you go, I'll go." And then my buddy Ryan says, "All right, if you go, Jimmy, I'll go too." And then my buddy Alex said, "You know what? If you three go, I will go." So we hop into his car. We drive 10 minutes out towards the lake, and we realize that there is a barricade that prevents you from driving further. Obviously, a restricted part of the city. We stop there, and my buddy Alex is like, "Okay, guys, you go ahead. Here's my phone. I'll sit here and wait in the car." We run in through the barricade, down a path that looks like it was only for like trucks and like whatever, I don't know. And then we get to like a harbor, and we're like, it's still not here yet. The map says to go further, so we go past the harbor. I'm like jogging along the lakeside because there's spawn rates and timers on the Pokemon. The chance of like Phoebus despawning in the time that we got there was like not high, but it's not that we were afraid of, right? You want to get there as soon as possible and then just get home. Mind you, it's like 12:10 a.m. It's really cold by the lake. I'm only wearing a hoodie and like a shirt. Huge mistake, because I didn't think I'd be outdoors all day. I was playing fucking card games all day. I didn't want to have like a big ass jacket. And the next thing you know, I'm like running, I'm just jogging alongside the lake with my boys, trying to get there, right? Ryan isn't level 30 on Pokemon Go yet. He's level 29, and he has to hit level 30 in order to see the Pokemon in his game, because 30 is the max where like Pokemon can spawn and like they'll have the highest numbers and shit. So running along, and I'm like trying to catch my breath. I'm trying to go, man. I have my phone up. I'm like looking and seeing if the Phoebus will spawn. About like 10-15 minutes into the run, probably closer to 10 minutes, Jimmy's like, I found it! He's like way further down. And like he's on his phone, he's on Alex's phone, he's got his girlfriend's phone, and like he's gonna log into like a friend's account and stuff. I'm like, holy shit, man. Like this guy's like trying to micromanage all this stuff. And I'm just like trying to keep up, man. I'm trying to keep up. Eventually we get there. Literally no one else is there except for Jimmy and me. Ryan eventually catches up, but not before we see like 10 other people show up. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's like 12:15, 12:20 in the freezing cold, right next to the lake, and everyone's on their fucking phones trying to catch a Phoebus. And I can hear everyone else like logging out of their accounts, logging into their buddies' accounts and their friends' accounts and their wives' accounts and whatever, trying to get on to like catch it for them too. Because this is a really rare find. The only thing that could have made it better was the fact that it could have been shiny, right? But that's whatever. That's like the icing on the cake. At the end of it, we're just like, I just see more people coming. Eventually, there's like 15 people total there, including us, even though we're the first ones there. And it was really, really fun because everyone was calling each other by like their screen names and stuff. They have clearly caught and played with each other before. We took like a group photo together to commemorate the moment. I was like, holy shit, man. It is dope to know that the Pokemon Go community is still like going strong, and that like these people are actually friends with each other because of the game. Like they don't know anything about Jimmy. Like they know him only by his Pokemon Go name, which is Sapphire Swords. So they know him as Sapphire, which is like really fucking cool. And then like they all like raid together and they like follow the notifications together on their network. So it's pretty insane. Like I didn't know this was a thing. And just thinking back, I can remember like seeing the skyline and like seeing the river got really dark. So like Jimmy's like little figure was like fading away in the distance as he ran along the lakeside. I was like, oh man. I chugged NyQuil last night before going to bed because I was sure that I was gonna get a cold from that. Trying to preemptively tackle the
you were jogging, man. You were keeping a sweat
like,
on,
I'm
dude.
freezing cold in like a single hoodie. I'm literally just wearing one hoodie and a shirt. I'm like, oh, it was bad, but whew, that was my night.
There you go. True adventures right there from Mr. Johnny.
Yeah.
Prez Mango. No. Come on, man. Woo! There we go.
It was a good day, dude. It was a good day. The only thing that could have made it better is if you were there.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
All right. All the excitement about us. We're going to move on a little bit to more so world gaming / whatever news we enjoy. Maybe not like political news. Maybe a little bit of political news here. We'll see.
Yeah. So what's new, Dan? Give us the rundown.
So recently, there was some news about Trump. Trump meeting with members of the video game industry after the Parkland, Florida incident to discuss violence in gaming and how it may be affecting people. So I wanted to just bring that up, see if there's any opinions from our viewers, from you, from me, whatever it is. It's something interesting because this has been discussed before many times in the past. Yeah. And I mean, it's never gone through. I think there was a Supreme Court ruling as well, too. in the past. I'm not too familiar with the actual um, this violence in video game industry thing, but it's for me at least. I love video games. I see what it can do, and we see what it can do. Not only bringing people together, but people enjoying, having an outlet for yourself, so you don't go do those things. Right? You have an
Yeah.
outlet here in this game rather than having an outlet in real life to do something like that. But what are your thoughts, Johnny?
Yeah, no, I think this is a really controversial topic that I know has been put in discussion for a very long time. Um, it's even been, I think I remember a lot of conversations amongst teachers and parents back when I was in grade school. Going into high school, I know that during the late 2000 like 6-7 era going into the early 2010s, there was a huge explosion of like Call of Duty popularities, Counter-Strike popularity, and other first-person shooter get Halo titles like that, right? So you got a lot of controversial opinions of like, should my kids, my teenage kids, be playing games where they shoot and kill other people? And there's a lot of controversy with that because just conceptually, right? The idea is that if you are in a position where you have a character and you're shooting behind a gun to kill other people, then like you're seeing those images, you're seeing like blood and stuff, and like some of the games they don't even have blood. But like you're in the position of a murderer. And I actually think that there's a lot of logic to why people would believe that, but it's all bullshit. I think that like the whole violence in video games and like violence coming from video games is total garbage. A lot of people don't realize that what happens in a video game is more so for one's fulfillment and enjoyment as opposed to something that you bring out in real life. And I think that gaming brings a lot of opportunities for people to have an identity. And if they're playing the game, there's a real reason behind it. Mostly it's to have fun. But like the games that people play generally are speaking to like the kind of enjoyment that they get, but not necessarily how they would behave in real life. And I think that their behavioral patterns in a game are very different from like in the real world, because these games are not the real world. These games are very made up, like they're very fictional. And they're also like environments that are designed for people to enjoy themselves in such a way that rewards you as a player. But I don't think that like that correlates to like the enjoyment of killing people in real life, because like those are so drastically different in terms of the worlds, the environments, and like how people interact with each other, that's not the case at all. Especially given the fact that like most of the time when you're playing a video game, you're behind a computer, you're behind a screen, you're in the comfort of your own home somewhere. If you're out and like fucking, I don't know, if you're out in the school or you're out somewhere with like a real gun, I don't think that that's like the same comfort that you would get being at home with your friends, like laughing and enjoying yourselves. There's also just like the idea of like pushing your limits and like doing things that you wouldn't do in real life that you would do in video games. An example of that is like trolling. You see a lot of that online where people are just like doing stupid shit, trying to upset other people. Most of the time in real life, people don't even want to speak up like and like tell you what their opinions are on things around their friends if they want to sign like a place for dinner because they don't want to upset people. In the game, you'll say all the stupid things that you want to say because no one's ever going to hunt you down. No one's going to like get you since you're anonymous. And I think that kind of logic applies to video games too, where like you have that identity to yourself and you know you create your own individual there, but that person is so different from the person that you are in real life. But like I just don't see I think it's a very old, very fallacious argument to say that video games causes violence in real life.
Right. And even at that point, I mean, there's a lot of already restrictions when it comes to video games, like the rated games, rated M, rated teen, rated all that stuff. So there are certain things in place. I understand people can easily get around it, but at the end of the day, we love video games, and we don't think that it is affecting people the way the politicians do. So, but moving on to a little bit more, I guess, more enjoyable news here. Quick thing for you all, if you have been playing H1Z1 or these Battle Royale games, something new. H1Z1, first off, finally came out of the alpha, whatever, the whatever they call that shit, early access mode,
Yeah, yeah.
you know. And they actually came out with a new game mode as well called H1Z1 Auto Royale. Now, I did have to test this out a little bit and see what it was like.
Auto Royale.
Yeah, if you guys haven't played H1Z1, we had a previous video as well on H1Z1 versus Player Unknown Battleground. But H1Z1 is a huge battle royale system where 100 people fall from the sky, land anywhere in a gigantic map, and you loot guns and you try to be the last one to survive. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now with Auto Royale, you are in a group of 4, and rather than landing from the sky, you are actually in a car, and you drive around the car to loot things. Now, you can't get out of the car. This is purely Auto Royale, which means purely car and guns while you're shooting out of the window, too. So you're driving around.
Oh, wow.
Your car picks up the loot, and then you get to, put it into your own inventory and shoot out of the window. There's, like, mines. There are smoke screens. There's, like, you have to refill on gas. You have all these random things. Same map, though. Same map as the H1Z1, but something new, something interesting for you guys to check out if you haven't checked it out. It's still in beta right now, this game mode. But yeah, something interesting for you guys all to check out. So if you have H1Z1, cool. If you have ever played it, you want to go back just for a little fun with your friends there. So finally they have something new that's not really new, but sort of new.
That's really cool. I didn't know that was a thing. That sounds really troll, though. Like
it is very troll.
So. Yeah, it just sounds like you're gonna get a lot of trolling and a lot of people doing dumb shit. But it sounds like it could be a lot of fun.
Yep. And moving on from there, a happy birthday to the Nintendo Switch.
Woo! Happy birthday.
Nintendo Switch came out March 3rd of 2017, and it has been 1 year and 1 day so far from when we're recording this, which you'll see tomorrow or today. Yeah. But both Johnny and I have the Nintendo Switch. Something super cool. Not too many games so far. Still trying to finish a couple. And then, how has your experience been ever since you started? I know we've already talked about this a little bit. Keep it brief and keep it short there.
Yeah. I think it's good. For the most part, I actually disagree. I think there are a lot of really good games that are out on the Switch, but I think a lot of people are on the fence about buying one because there aren't a lot of AAA titles. In general, though, it's been a really good year for the Switch. Breath of the Wild was probably one of the best things that could have happened. I know that's like a really old topic that's brought up a lot, but just the fact that they had like a really good launch title that is like easily worth 100+ hours on a game is really good. And then followed by bringing like a Mario Kart experience and a really good Mario experience. The Super Mario experience is really important. So in general, I think that there are going to be a lot of really big and exciting announcements coming for the Switch this year. But for the most part, like I think I still stand by what I like previously said when last time we talked about it. Like there's a lot of really good things that are happening in the gaming industry, and I think that the Switch is one of those that is worth investing in.
Definitely. I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. Kirby's coming out soon. I might want to take a look at that. Kirby Star Allies. I might buy that. I've loved Kirby for a while, so
yeah.
Check it out. Happy birthday to the Nintendo Switch here. Moving forward, new in anime, Sword Art Online. If you haven't followed them since season 1, Sword Art Online. I don't even know how to say this. Alicization? Sure. Their third season of Sword Art Online is coming out. So from SAO initially to GGO, Gun Game
Online.
Yeah, GGO. And now it's Alicization. I don't even know how to say it, but they just released a new trailer teaser sometime coming in the future. I'm excited. I love Sword Art Online. It has been this imaginary world that I wish I could be a part of,
Yeah.
in the future. So,
Hmm.
have you seen it recently or fairly
I'm also a
recently?
pretty big fan of SAO. Definitely watched a lot of it
Hmm.
before, so I'm excited to see what season 4 is. I have a really unpopular opinion about SAO, and that like I actually don't hate the Alfheim arc that everyone hates. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I
that.
actually don't hate it,
Okay.
but I know a lot of people do. I thought it was like I actually thought it was pretty enjoyable, but um, yeah, I'm excited that they're bringing season 4 out. I know that this year's supposed to be like the golden age of anime, and SEO season 4 contributes to that. It's like one of them.
Yeah. So, super excited. Check that out. If you haven't seen the teaser as well, check that out. We might link it. We might not. Who knows exactly what we link? So, but that really leads us into our main topic for today. It's going to be our top 3 favorite animes,
Hmm.
plus some potential runner-ups, but we'll see. Um, yeah, our top 3 animes. That's why Johnny's wearing his Kuma Bear Shokugeki no Soma outfit, and that's why we're kind of leading in with a lot of anime stuff here. But I know we have a lot of viewers that watch anime, weeb culture, weeb life. Watch this, watch that. It's growing. It's becoming bigger in the U.S. as well, and we're just gonna go with our top 3. Let's start it off. Kick it off here. Johnny, you want to kick us off?
All right, so I will say that my number 3 favorite anime of all time is probably Angel Beats. Um, and I say probably Angel Beats because I am pretty undecided on like where to make the cutoff, but I think that that is like where the cutoff would probably be.
Mm-hmm.
When I think about like my top 3 anime, I think about the ones that like were most impactful to me, had the most positive influence on my life, and also like just genuinely what I enjoyed the most. So I'm one of those people that really likes to like cry when I watch something.
Hell yeah.
And it's really weird because like when I'm with my friends, I try not to cry, but like it feels good to cry. I like that catharsis when I watch something really emotional, really moving. It feels good to feel. You can quote me there.
Feels
But that's,
good to feel.
yeah, it does, dude. It feels so good when you're invested in something, and you get to see like how it goes, right? So in Angel Beats, for those of you guys that don't know, the premise is a character, Otonashi, I can't believe I remember his name, wakes up and he realizes that he's in like some really weird looking like school campus environment. He finds out he's dead, and he finds out everyone there is dead, and he wants to know why God put them there instead of like whatever else happened. They remember how they died in the real world to some degree, but the series goes on to talk about like the questions of like life and death and coming to peace with things. And the series was really touching to me personally because I myself am actually very afraid of death and my own mortality. But seeing this anime really brought to life a lot of questions and concerns about like what it's like to like kind of not ever be at peace with anything, and then also coming to peace with everything, and then like finally resting. What's really cool about the series though is that they this is one of the few animes that I feel like was too short. And then I know that you have a series that is on your list that also got a lot of criticism for being too short. But yours has a lot more hope for a future than Angel Beats because Angel Beats is very old.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's been, I'm just going to quickly look it up. Angel Beats aired in spring of 2010. It's 2018, so I don't think that we're gonna see a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they brought Angel Beats back for like some anime campaigns. It showed up in like Vice, that card game that Bushiroad makes that I mentioned earlier, and other like popular events that come up in Japan based on like Key Visual, which is one of the like developers and like producers of Angel Beats. But my favorite episode of the series was when they were taking care of Yui. And if you've ever seen Angel Beats, then you'll know exactly which episode I'm talking about.
Wait,
I will not tell you any more than that.
Before we do that, spoiler alerts for anyone who needs it. we may say some things about these anime that
I
you may
guess, yeah,
want.
yeah.
So I'll just spoil it right here.
All right,
Right
all right,
now.
that's
Stop
fair.
it
That's
from
fair.
there.
That's a good call. That's a good call. I'm gonna try to keep it spoiler free, but Dan, you are right. Knowing me, I talk a lot. I might let something slip. So I'm glad you called me out there. But there is like a really iconic episode in the series that like I just bawled. I just bawled. I'm so glad that like my parents weren't home because I was crying for like half an hour. Like I was just going at it. I was really sick and I was just like laying there and I was like, oh man, it was just so
Mhm.
hard to watch. But yeah, Angel Beats is my number 3.
So, one quick thing about this, I don't know if you've ever watched Dane Cook before. He was a comedian. I don't know where he is anymore, but he did do a little bit on this, where not on Angel Beats, but on crying. So, it was pretty much this. I know this is a completely tangent, but it was. He basically says that in the beginning of the day, some days you just have that feeling that you want to cry. And
Yeah.
throughout the entire day, you always notice small little things pushing at you saying, why aren't you crying? Do this, do that. The world is at you. If you haven't seen this, it does probably relate to the crying thing. So super interesting. Check it out. I know it's a complete tangent, but that it just brought
Yeah.
up in my head. On the Angel Beats topic, yes, I enjoyed it, and I did watch it as well. But like you said, it was way too short. I
Yeah.
couldn't ever feel emotionally attached to any of the characters before they already moved on to another one. There were
Yeah.
so many characters to keep track of that it didn't feel like it developed enough for me, and that's why it is definitely not in my top. Um, it was a good anime, but I just wish they took the time, maybe even like developed 1 or 2 episodes per character just to at least find more about them. So
Yeah.
that was my huge downside to that episode. So, but I definitely enjoyed it, and that's why I want more.
Mhm.
That's why
Yeah.
I wanted more, because it was good.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. All right, so I guess my number. I guess I hate doing top threes because it's like I don't want to
It's
list
so
one and
hard.
one. I don't want to list two and
Yeah.
two. So I'm gonna say this is just a general top three. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's Mushishi. Mushishi. Yeah. With Mushishi, it's Mushi are basically what they say in the anime is the basic form of life in the world, the most basic form of life in the world. And a Mushishi is the one who studies all of these Mushi. So throughout the world, now this anime is pretty much episodic. I think that's what, yeah, episodic. So it's not connected to anything at all. Each episode is completely different. It handles different things, but you're following one character named Gin throughout the entire series. Or Ginkgo, sorry, throughout the entire series, and he goes on his travels, and you discover a little bit more about them. So I guess there is an overarching, like, who is this guy? Which sort of follows through the story, but you don't have to watch the every single episode in order to know what's going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every episode is it's kind of its own thing. So,
Hmm.
it's super. So the reason why I enjoyed it so much was because it's super relaxing. Um, the art style, the music, the story, it's super relaxing. At the same time, there is conflict in the story, and you're trying to figure out um, these mushi. They're having some effect on certain people's lives and certain like cities, and but overall, it's like this small little adventure almost that is super relaxing to watch, and I really enjoyed it. I
Hmm.
always, every so often, go back to it just to watch a couple episodes, and that's when I know I really enjoy an anime. If I always go back just to take a look at a couple episodes, even if it's just for fun. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, if you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. Talks about so many things like the natural world, plants, diseases, different phenomenons, all fantasy or created up. So
Hmm.
very fun, very enjoyable.
Yeah, I know you've mentioned the series a couple times. I've never heard anyone like listed in the top three, so like it must mean that you really like it, and I'm glad that you have like
Mhm.
titles that like we haven't heard before because it makes it more interesting to like kind of consider. Like all of my titles like super popular, so like everyone's gonna know them. But I'm really glad like it has a little character. It's like the kind of anime you like, so like I feel like that's something I would really enjoy watching, just like to know more about like what you got out of it and why you enjoyed it. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
definitely, definitely. All right, moving forward here.
All right. So while I rank this as my number two favorite anime, I do think that this is probably my favorite like franchise of all time. Um, or like this line of products, and also something that has like a really big impact on my life. Uh, so the series that I'm going to talk about is Love Live. And for those of you that know me in real life, you'll probably know that like in some way, shape, or form, I've talked about Love Live before. Some way more than others. And Love Live is just like really watered down. Is a story of 9 high school girls who try to save their high school, and they do so by creating an idol group that blows up in Japan and then worldwide. Um, while they didn't originally start as high school girls, the franchise and the series did blow up in Japan and then it blew up worldwide. Um, Starting in 2010, they released like a couple of albums before they got picked up by Bushiroad. 2011, 2012, they started like putting out more music, and then 2013 and 2014 is when they released the anime. I think that was when we saw like the actual like series of the girls going through like school and the events and like the development of them. Every year between 2010 and 2016, they had a concert that like exponentially got bigger every time. The last one ending in the Tokyo Dome with like I don't remember what the max capacity of was in there, but I know that the Tokyo Dome's like really well known for like really big concerts. I recently found out that like, Big Bang performed there, and like other really big artists. So
Mhm.
um, what's really weird about the series, Dan, is that I never really wanted to get into it. It just kind of happened. I was at a regional event along the lines of, like that card game tournament I was talking about earlier, and they had a phone game that they're trying to advertise to get people to play. And my buddy Brian was telling me I needed to try the phone
Oh.
game, and I needed to go get the free stickers that you get for just playing the game. So I went over, I played. It was really easy. It was just like this tapping rhythm game, and I got some stickers. And I'm looking at the stickers. I'm like, wow, these girls are kind of cute. So then Brian convinces me to watch the anime. I'm having a really rough night. I remember sometime my sophomore year of college, and I just stay up all night. And it's approaching like 4 or 5 a.m. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it. I remember I was in tears at the end of like episode 10 or 11 of season 1, as the sun is coming up and is like hitting me on the left side of my face through my window in my bedroom, and I'm like, huh, maybe there's something here. So next thing you know, I'm like buying all this merchandise from them online. I'm listening to their music all the time. Um, Hold up, Alexa's talking to me. Alexa, shut up. All right. Anyway, yeah, that's why I tell it to stop. Anyway, so a really big thing about me in college is that I'd struggled with a lot of anxiety and depression, and I still do, but it was a lot worse in college than it is now. And I really didn't have a lot of ways to handle it, but something that really got me through it was Love Live, and the fact that like the music was very happy, the music sounded really good, and the series in general was something that like I felt very connected to. Um, which is really strange because like why was some 20 something year old like college kid in America like find himself like emotionally connected to like these like imaginary girls that are in an anime that like are supposed to be like in like their late teen years. um and I think that it's something that a lot of people misunderstand because of the idea like, oh my god, like this kid is like crushing on like imaginary teenage girls. And I think that that's a point that a lot of people in America would be weirded out by. But I think that kind of misses the point. It's the fact that like the idea of what they're doing and the message that they're trying to send across, and just the fact that the only reason that people should watch Love Live or to like get involved with it is because it's enjoyable. And there's nothing more to it than that. When you watch the anime, I've heard this countless times from the friends that I forced to watch it. And trust me, Dan, I had a lot of people watch this in college. I was like, just sit down and give it a shot instead of judging me, just give it a shot. And a lot of people were like feel very pleased and they're like, wait a minute, this is actually really good. The story doesn't try to do anything complex like Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist, things like that. They don't try to get like super into like the idea of like like develop a really sophisticated plot. The only thing that they want you to take away from it is to enjoy yourself, and it's really, really well done for what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
My first trip to Japan was actually on a whim in spring break of 2016, but a lot of it was motivated by my love for Love Live, as well as my buddy Brian and some other friends of mine. So leading up to the last concert that they were ever going to have for that set of girls at the time, they rotated the old girls out. They have a new set of girls now. Tokyo was covered in Love Live related stuff because of how popular it was. It's also popular, like pretty popular in the US, popular in Canada, Hong Kong, Southeast Asia in general. I know that there's like a lot of European fans as well. Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was insane how many people like really enjoyed and embraced Love Live for what it was. So it was really cool to see like a city that I had always wanted to see, but then like covered in something I really liked, like walking into like shopping malls or like arcades out here, like some of my favorite songs play. It was a very cathartic experience. It was very enjoyable, and I think that like just the fact that like Love Live has had that impact on me to like get me through those really tough times. I can't not put it in my top 3.
Whew. Man, more important on that. Whew. Yeah. I haven't actually watched it, and personally, we don't watch that much anime. Me and you. Everyone thinks we do, or
Everyone
maybe
thinks we do,
but no, we don't
really
actually watch too much. So I've never gotten into it because there's so many anime that I do want to watch as well that I just either don't have the time or I'm just too lazy to start something up. So
right, yeah.
But we'll see. I might take a look at it. I enjoy music. I enjoy checking stuff out. So
I will say though, just on a really quick last note, that my favorite girl is Ellie. That's all you need to know.
All right, Ellie. What if I hate her? What if I hate her? Huh? Just kidding.
I don't think anybody hates her. She's like not the girl that people hate. But that's a totally different topic that we can discuss later. I want to hear your next one, Dan.
All right. So my next one, I'm very sad that this won't continue or is still in the works, or maybe not. Who knows what it is? It's No Game, No Life. And it's only one season, I think about 11, maybe 13, 12 episodes. It left on a cliffhanger. I'm so upset that it did, but it is so good. So basically what this is there is a brother and sister, and they are brought into a world of, it's like a game world, where all conflict and all forms of conflict are solved through not war, but high stakes games. So you're betting either money or your life or like a huge important factor of something, and you're betting it to win something better, or to win something of equal value, or to win something they think is valuable. So there is just a bunch of different, I guess, species, or not species. I don't even know what to say. It's like we're humans, and there's also things like cat creatures or something like that. There are many different creatures in different worlds have that own different land, and trying to unite it and see what happens. But so also take this as well. There's a lot of comedy involved in this show as well. There's a lot of lewd kind of pictures and moments. But if you disregard some of that stuff, and that's just more so the comedic kind of timing and element to the show, to the anime, there's a lot of intelligence and trying to bring out this intelligence and the thinking and the strategy involved in the way they play the games and the way they think and how they're playing. It's super interesting, and you never expect what's going to happen when they're competing. So something super cool. I really wish they continued. They have a movie out. It was really good as well, but they haven't announced any second season, and it's so upsetting. I don't know why. But I really wish there's more. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. It's very bright and colorful anime, I'd say. So.
I want to add to that, Dan, because I think you brought up a lot of really good points about No Game, No Life. It's a really good series. It's really, really fucking good. I think that there was a lot of like mixed reviews on No Game No Life Zero, which is the movie that came out,
Yeah.
which kind of explains like the rules of the world and the premise of things. I watched it. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was bad.
Yes.
It was just like not what you wanted from a No Game No Life
Of
series,
course.
but like the colors and the animation. At first, I hated it, but then I was like, wait a minute, this is gorgeous and it's really well done. The voice acting is really good. The animation is like clean,
Mhm.
really clean. The soundtrack's really good. There is like a little bit of fan service, but like seeing past that, like the series, really, really well done. So I'm with you, Dan. I really hope we see like a season 2 coming up soon. The fact that they made a movie is like gives us hope, but you know we got to be patient.
I think they tried to base the movie off base interest off the movie too, which is a terrible thing to do because you're basing it off of one full movie rather than this like amazing first season that you had. So
Yeah.
but I believe there is a book. It's based on books or novels or graphic or novels off of it. So I might take a look at that and see if I can read through it and find out what happens. But
Yeah, that'd be dope.
definitely better. So
The light novels for sure. I want to hear what you think of them if you read them.
Ooh. Now I have to Google them.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Oh, all right. So I would say that my favorite anime of all time, and this is an anime that like didn't necessarily have like the most impact on me the way like Love Live did. I didn't cry as much as I did in Angel Beats, but I think that this is just a really, really well constructed story. Was Code Geass. Holy shit, man! This series is like amazing. I remember I did cry a little bit. I was watching the series a lot, on and off. The summer I first got my real full time job, full time where I was like working full time hours, but like it was $10 an hour, and I only worked that summer between classes so I could like build this PC that I'm running on. So yay me.
Yeah.
But I remember I was like watching the final episode of Code Geass in my IT lab where I was working, and I started crying. I was like, I had to step outside. I just told my manager, I'm going to the bathroom. I was like, I stepped outside. I had to get a breather. I was like, I had to pull myself together. It was really good. The story talks about a character named Lelouch, who is the son of the Emperor Britannia. And the way I like to describe the story is imagine if the American Revolution was lost and Britain took over America and they continued to take over other parts of the world. That's actually kind of like the premise of it, that like Britannia is this huge empire, and they start, you know, colonizing in large countries, but if they have already like developed themselves, they would just call them areas. So when they colonized Japan, they called it Area 11, and it created this like racist tension where like the Britannians, which are like you know, for better or worse, the white people there, were Britannians, and then you had the Japanese people there, which weren't even considered Japanese, they're just considered 11s. They also kind of had to learn how to coexist with each other, but under the rule of the Britannian Empire. So the story of Code Geass talks about how Lelouch wants to overthrow the empire because of his hatred for his dad, and like all the things that unfolds from that. So the story is just so well done. There's so many good characters. The soundtrack's amazing. Animation's kind of old. It was from like 2006, 2008. So it's pretty clean, but it's still really well done. It's man. I feel like this is the kind of thing that like a lot of people would really enjoy if they watched really serious, like I know that there are a lot of TV shows on Netflix and things where like you have a really serious storyline and the characters are really well developed, but then like there's some like supernatural or like magical element to it. The element in this anime is like these large mechs that people fight, similar to like Gundams, but they're not quite in the same realm of like the way Gundam is. There's also this idea of Gyas, which is a special superpower that the Lelouch uses that he obtains early on in the series, where he can tell anyone, looking them in the eye, and he has to look them in the eye, to do any one thing he wants them to do, and only once. So it creates this like really crazy spin on like everything that he's doing and how he wants to like take on his dad. I feel like this is something that a lot of people would probably really enjoy, but it does have a bit of a slow start. Like takes about 10-15 episodes to ramp up, but a lot of it is really big setup for what we see in season 2, where season 2 actually got like higher ratings than season 1 because like all of the action and everything that unfolds in season 2 that wouldn't really have been able to happen without the setup from season 1. But it's definitely one of my favorite like storylines. It's my favorite anime of all time, and like you, Dan, like I find myself like rewatching with friends all the time, and I actually really want to rewatch it. It's really fucking good.
Yeah. So on that, I have tried it, and I have tried it.
Yeah,
I
I know you tried
very
it.
much have
Yeah.
tried it a couple times. So a couple things about that. Number one, I've never enjoyed Gundam stuff. So
Mhm.
the mech kind of aspect, even if it's not the main part of the story, turns me off all the time.
Right. Hmm.
Um, Secondly, I don't enjoy the art style as much.
Hmm.
So it is a very well done art style, but is not my style of art that I enjoy watching when I'm watching an anime. So, um, and then third, it's just really slow start. Like you
Hmm.
said, I I got through I think 8 episodes of like this 30-minute long anime each episode, and it still didn't go anywhere. And I was
That's not
like,
true. That's totally not
please.
true. You also said that when you were watching, you were skipping around and you weren't actually like paying attention. There's a lot that happened in like the first 3 episodes. Um,
Yeah, a
but
lot does, and I definitely I try to restart watching it twice now. The first time you told me, and I got through I think 5, and then the second time I got through 8, and I still couldn't go through with it. I wish I could. Maybe one day you watch it with me, you sit down with me, and we'll watch it. Maybe marathon run it, or who knows? Maybe
I
then I'll
maybe.
feel more inclined to do it. But yeah, I've heard very good things about this anime, so not only from you but from other people as well. And viewers, if you enjoy it, definitely check it out as well.
Yeah,
It's a very good anime. It's very well rated. I just personally couldn't get into it as much, though.
that's fair. That's fair.
All right. Whew. And my number one here, I guess number one or last one, is going to be Naruto.
Whew.
Yeah, one big, gigantic 700 episode anime. Um, and the reason why I really, really enjoy this is I have literally seen every single episode as well as read every single manga.
Holy shit! I didn't know that. That's
Every
insane.
single one. I
Oh
followed
my
it.
god.
So the first time I've ever seen this was in China, actually. It was in Chinese at one of my um parents' friends' place, and I was just watching TV, and I saw this cartoon. It was when I was very young. I think it was like
Uh huh.
7 or 8 years old, and I loved it since then. I didn't remember the name because it was in Chinese, so I never knew what it was. So I thought it was just some Chinese
Oh.
Chinese cartoon, and I was like, I'll never see it again. When I came after I think a year or two of not seeing it, it was on Toonami. And that's when I'm like, holy crap, that's what it's called. From then, I Googled it, I searched it, and that was still when it was, I think, only around 100 or so episodes in. And ever since
Uh huh.
then, I've been going nonstop on it. I rewatch it. I rewatch like different arcs. I rewatch different episodes. I watch the epic moments. I watch the highlight. I watch everything about Naruto. It's super cool. It is
Yeah.
an anime about ninja and a. There's so much, too many stories to tell in this because it's so long. Um, you're just basically following the journey of one town, one city, I guess you could say.
Uh huh.
And you're following these ninja and their adventures, their journeys, and their progression through their missions and battles and progressing through their talents and techniques and everything. So check it out. I'm pretty sure most people have heard of it and have seen it at one point or another, but
Hmm.
I don't know. It was just really connected since very young. So
Man, there's something that I have about the big three that I just like told myself I wouldn't ever get into.
hmm
But I know that there's a lot of value in being able to like enjoy the series as someone like you who's like grown up with it for so long
yep.
and like having followed the characters, followed like all the arcs and like knowing so much about it is like do you watch Boruto then?
Um, I did, but I hate. I don't know. It just isn't the same.
Uh-huh.
It just isn't the same. It still has those elements and those aspects of the characters as well, but it just wasn't the same for me.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I still enjoyed it, and I still watch it, but I don't keep up with it as quickly and like weekly. Like this is the week I have to watch it on this day, this time. I have to read the manga. No, I just like after 2 or 3 weeks, I just catch up on it, and then for another 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe I forget about it for a week or two, and
I
then
see.
I watch it again. So I do keep up with it, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have the same feel as the
Yeah.
initial characters. Maybe I just love the characters.
Yeah.
So
But I've never had that attachment from like something I grew up with. So I'm like, I don't want to say I envy it, but like I see where there's a lot of value there. So I respect that this is the your number one choice, and it's
hell
kind of cool
yeah.
that you had that story. Like you didn't know what it was like because it was in Chinese, and like, oh
So
wait, there's something else.
I think in Chinese was like Huo Ying. It's like fire something because it's the fire or not fire nation, the fire village. So it was something about fire something 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 in
Hmm.
Chinese. So that's all I remember, and I tried to Google and search it, but I never knew how to write it or read it. So,
I see. I see.
but yeah.
That makes sense.
All right. Well, that makes up our top three. We're gonna quickly toss out a couple of our runner-ups because I know that we still love anime and we want to have you guys check out as many as we can.
Yeah.
But toss them out very quickly here for me, Johnny. What are some of your runner-ups here?
Some of my runner-ups include One Punch Man. I think that series is like really fucking funny and it's like really well done. I'm really excited for One Punch Man 2 that's coming out this year. Attack on Titan or Shingeki no Kyojin. I think that series is pretty overrated, but it's really dark. It's really good. I think the story is phenomenal, and I'm excited because a lot of what we're gonna see in season 3 is really, really fucking hype. That's gonna come out this year.
Yep.
I did read the manga for a while. Sal hates me for not reading it more with him, even though like I kind of told him that he should read it too.
Yeah.
I know he was reading it before me, but then I got him to start reading it again. I had him follow me for a while, so that's something I'm really looking forward to following. The story's just really dark and it's like really fucked up, and I love all the characters.
The anime was just so
Uh,
slow. That's why it was like first season and it took a long time for second season. So I actually
Maybe you're just impatient, Dad. I don't think it was that slow. I actually thought it was
no
like
no
a pretty good pace.
no like this from the first to the
Oh!
second. There was such a long
Yeah.
like gap between. No, I loved first season. No, it's just the gap between the first and the second was like, where the heck are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you're right. I think that it just took so long. It was like 4 years
Yeah.
between Attack on Titan 1 and 2. And my third runner-up is Shigatsu wa Kimi no Uso, or Your Lie in April. That was like a really emotional anime. The soundtrack's really good. The story's really good. And I have a thing for blonde female protagonists. So, like, when they're really well done, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
we go for them.
All right. Hell yeah. Couple runouts for me. I also have Your Lie in April. I love the soundtrack as well. I love piano. I love the music, and the story was emotional for me, definitely. Yu Yu Hakusho is a really old anime as well. It was initially, I think, I watched it on Toonami. It follows the journey and adventure of call it spirit detective. With so they fight demons and the demon world and the adventures and journey of it. Really interesting. I grew up with it as well, and I still watch it. And I just started recently watching it again, or some random episodes. Good, lots of emotion in it as well as just fun action.
Yeah.
Third one, Shokugeki no Soma. It is still ongoing.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the apron that you currently have, I absolutely
Hell yeah.
love this show.
The series is so fucking good, dude. It's so good.
I read every single week the manga. I watch all the anime as well. I don't keep up with the anime as much because I am impatient and it takes a long time. But yeah, super good. I love food. If you guys do watch Shokugeki no Soma, get past the fan, just the lewd images that they do produce.
of men and women. It's totally both. Like,
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you see like covered up tits and shit, but you also see like the most handsome dudes and like totally butt naked. It's hilarious.
Abs and buff ass dudes and this and that and like the apron that he's freaking naked and underneath he's freaking buff as hell. Yeah. It's not just not just women, men too. So
yeah, it's insane.
But get past that and the story is actually really good. So
yeah.
But we're going to end it off there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys actually have either seen some of these anime or maybe we convinced you to actually check one of these out. Let us know what you like, what your top 3 animes are. We will link our My Anime list down below just for your enjoyment, I guess. And tell us about our previous things like the Trump thing, the Switch, Sword Art Online, all that stuff. Let us know what you think. Comment, email, subscribe. Any final thoughts,
Johnny? You'll
see
us next week. You will see us next week.
There you go. You'll see us next week.
And I will be wearing clothes.
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
You'll see us next week. Bye.